Over the past decade, Cheri Hutchings has organized some great parties in the St. Louis area. Today, she's here to tell us the details and also share what it takes to create a spectacular event. So before we get to the details of how we do it ourselves and learn from you, I want to hear more about your event planning business. And you made a big career switch from, was it corporate finance? Is that right?
I did.
And so what led you to event planning?
Well, I had worked in the finance world, the corporate world I was a senior financial analyst for 22 years and lost my job, got laid off, and tried to decide something, figure out a career where I would enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
And I had been serving on the board of directors for a couple of different nonprofits at the time and doing fundraising events for them. So it was just natural. People were telling me that I was really good at it, so I thought, well, I'll just give it a try.
Yeah, and just like our prior guests, you both lost your jobs and both then followed an entrepreneurial avenue after that. And not everyone has the luxury to be able to do that. A lot of people want to do it, but they're afraid or they have different reasons they can't do it. So how great for you that you're able to pursue your dreams.
Yeah.
So how's it been?
Up and down. Mm-hmm. It was very scary at first, but I've managed to stay in business and thriving over the last 12 years, and I'm really glad that I made the decision to do this.
Yeah, so what kind of events do you plan?
Primarily fundraising events for nonprofit organizations.
Okay, so give us an example of a fundraising event, because I think of galas, I think of races, I think of...
Lots of galas.
Mm-hmm.
I do lots of galas. However, I've also done the Moonlight Ramble. I've done a lot of 5K runs. I just produced one for Bark. Mm-hmm. Art shows, golf tournaments, bowling tournaments, you name it.
So tell us about the job of an event planner like you. When you say you organize the event, does that mean hiring the music, the caterer, the whole bit, or is there just aspects that you specialize in?
I do as much or as little as my clients need me to do. A lot of clients feel like they have the volunteer staff to do it. They just don't have the leadership and the know-how, so they all hire me as a consultant. But most of my clients hire me to take care of everything. I generally do everything but the actual fundraising. My motto is to free up the client's time so that they have time to forge those relationships with sponsors and donors, and I handle all of the other details.
Okay, and so when they have a volunteer force on board, do you work with the volunteers as well in keeping them organized?
I do, yeah. I typically would form committees with the volunteers, and I would provide leadership and guidance and kind of detailed to-do list. Mm-hmm. So that, as a volunteer, they don't have to work too hard to try and figure out what to do.
Right. So over the past few years, as your business has evolved, have you also seen fundraising activities also evolve? Are there certain types of events that are more popular now that maybe weren't as popular 7 or 8 years ago?
It's pretty much stayed.
So there used to be the trivia nights were really popular, and then the auctions.
They're all still very popular.
Still popular, yeah.
I do a lot of galas, and now that's one thing though, is that the auctions have become, it seems to me, a little more popular. Mm-hmm. It's not just a fundraising gala. It's not just a party that you attend and give money. It's now connected to some other avenues for raising money.
Mm-hmm. So do you even scout locations and help find those kinds of...
Absolutely, yeah.
The basics?
Yeah, because the location has a lot to do with the type of event that you're trying to pull off and the budget. Mm-hmm. And I'm so familiar with all the venues in town that I usually go into it with some recommendations from my client of venues that I think would suit their needs as well as fit their budget.
Okay, good. So we're going to take a quick break right now, Cheri. We're going to come back in a few minutes with Cheri Hutchings and learn more about event planning and some of the highlights from her event planning career. Right after this quick break, stay right there.